Hi, my name is Dr. Michael Vincent. I am a chiropractor in the state of Michigan, and I say the state because hopefully this is going to be seen on the internet around the world. And I'm from Flint, Michigan, the place of the water crisis, the lead water crisis, and the health issues are overwhelming. And the folks that know me know that I was sick for the last couple of years, very sick, where a year ago I prayed to the Lord that either fix me or take me. I had 17 bleeding lesions on my body. My face and skin looked horrible. And not knowing what to do, I'm a holistic doctor. And I said, God, you send me people that had diseases, which incurable diseases. And through me, through you, they got their healing. They got their redemption. I said, God, fix me or take me. The pain from the lead, the pain from the water, but I didn't know it was the water this time last year. The word got out last September. This time last year, I went to the hospital. At the hospital, complaints of throwing up blood. At the hospital, pain in my colon area. At the hospital, the pain of burning sensation in my lungs when I breathe in and out. A metal taste in my tongue. At the hospital, they did tests, and the doctor ran several tests. He said, Dr. Vincent, we found something in your colon, a spot in your colon, and 2 spots in your lungs. He said, I want you to go to the cancer center, the oncology department, tomorrow for further testing. He said, but however, if you stay in the hospital tonight, we can do more tests. I just knew I had cancer in the colon and my lungs because of the pain I had. Breathing in and the metal taste and the pain in my colon when I ate anything. The next day, the doctor on the floor, I asked the doctor, what stage cancer do I have? And he said, Dr. Vincent, you don't have cancer. We see 3 spots in you. We see 1 spot in your colon and 2 spots in your lungs. It is not cancer, but we know what it is. And the following month, the truth came out that we had lead in our water in Flint, Michigan. That metal taste that I had in my mouth and that smell. My father was a hunter. He liked to hunt. He's from the South. He hunted everything, folks. And I remember the smell as a kid, a smell from those guns, that lead smell. And I began to research what lead does. Lead causes you to forget. I got lost going home. I got lost going to the post office. I got lost going home. Like I had Alzheimer's. I had to call my sister, said, I'm lost. How do I get home? And learning that my friends had the same situations, getting lost, not remembering things. And then I realized that I had family members with severe hypertension. I had 4 cousins that died of cancer, folks. My age of cancer the past 2 years. And this lead issue became a family issue. It was my battle. I told folks the lead in my city is my ISIS, folks. It's my enemy, my ISIS. The lead in Flint became the ISIS of Flint. And as we began to get testing done in our city, and they start setting up free testing sites and start giving out free filters, for the waters and trying to help. And the very pediatrician who saw the issue was told that if you told the community, we would fire you, but she still told the city. She did us a favor, a huge favor. And when I began to realize what the lead can actually do, and start getting stories. Dr. Vincent, my 5-year-old grandson, was a smart kid, and he was a normal 5-year-old. Now he's back on Pampers, lost all bladder and bowel control. Dr. Vincent, will lead cause a 21-year-old to commit suicide? Dr. Vincent, my 15-year-old son is now being dialyzed, kidney failure. Dr. Vincent, my 44-year-old husband, has gone blind. These kind of stories, folks, I was getting from the water in the city of Flint. And come to find out, folks, the lead was actually a gift because now we have 5,000 cities in this country with lead poisoning, folks. And you hear me, my voice, and seeing me all over Michigan, hopefully. But however, you got 400,000 people in Detroit with lead poisoning. You'll know about it. If you want to hear the truth, go to Steve Harvey, the Flint water crisis. Go look that up. He had a special on the Flint water crisis and had a reporter here from Detroit. He said Detroit got 400,000 people, 300,000 in Cleveland, 500,000 in Chicago, 500,000 in Atlanta. It's all over. And folks, and it affects mostly folks, the poor African American communities. The water, the lead, is not just the water, folks. We think that our water is normal, but it's in the soils, it's everywhere. And so my challenge was that how can we fix it and what can we do? We have a caller here, folks. I'm going to bring on this caller. Dr. Vincent, is there a caller in the air? Hi, this is Dr. Vincent.
Hi, this is Amber from Flint.
Hi, Amber. Now, this is my good friend Amber from Flint, folks, and she was also part of this water crisis. And Amber has a story, and the water issue has been an issue in Flint for years, folks. Besides the lead, they found 600 other toxins in our water besides the lead. It's been there for years. And Amber, we worked together in the 1990s, and we've been, we're good friends, and we had, kind of went our own ways for like almost 20 years. And last December we met up with each other again, and we just had a reunion. And she said something to me. Now, when she met me, folks, she had severe asthma, getting in and out of the hospital with asthma. I'm a chiropractor. I did holistic health, and her asthma tend to go away. But then when we met up again, she said, Dr. Vincent, I've been sick. She said, Dr. Vincent, I've been in and out of the hospital 384 times in the last past 3 years. And when I got home, I said, wait a minute. I know how to hear this correctly. I called her back. I said, Amber, did you say that 84 times in 3 years? Hey, Amber, tell the listening audience your story. What happened?
Well, I've had maybe about 7 or 8 different, I think it was 7 different surgeries that I've had on my abdomen. I've had 2 C-sections. I've had an umbilicus hernia. Then I had my gallbladder removed. I had a hysterectomy, fibroids removed. And then as I was healing from the surgery of the fibroids, the scar tissue looped around my bowel, and it caused a full bowel obstruction. And so they had to go in and cut part of my colon. And because I had all these surgeries, I had developed a lot of scar tissue in there. And so what the scar tissue would do was twist my bowel. And so gas was going through, but it was going through extremely slow. And sometimes my stomach would distend, and I'd have to go in the hospital, and they would put an angio tube down and try to decompress my stomach. And I asked the surgeons, I said, well, can you cut the scar tissue down? And they were afraid to do that because you get scar tissue from cutting. So they said that this was something that I was going to have to live with. And it had nothing to do with my diet, because people were saying, well, can you change your diet or don't eat fried foods? And I try not to eat fried foods. I eat a lot of baked foods. But scar tissue, your stomach is constantly turning and churning, and you never know what scar tissue is going to do when it's going to twist. And so because of that, I was, I could be at work, and all of a sudden it would twist, and my abdomen would distend, and I'd have to go in the hospital. And I was in and out, a lot of times. And they did just about everything. I've been pain management clinics. I had a doctor try to maneuver my abdomen. I've been on all kind of medicines. And there was nothing that could be done. And then I ran into Dr. Vincent, and like you said, we've been knowing each other for years, but I ran into him. I didn't see him for maybe about 15, 20 years, and then I ran into him maybe about maybe 5 or 6 months ago, and he was telling me about these minerals that he had, and that they wanted me to try the minerals and vitamins, and so I started taking them, and I noticed a difference. I noticed that my stomach wasn't becoming distended, and I hadn't been in the hospital, and I said, wow, okay, this stuff works. So I've been on the products that they have me on. I think there's a few other products I think that they want me to try, but for the most part, I'm doing very, very well.
And Amber, I want to thank you for that, Amber, because people need to know 384 times in 3 years, in and out. Modern medicine did all they could for you. And I tell folks, if you don't got to get cut, don't get cut. Now, she mentioned that she had fiber tumors, and Amber and I have not, she haven't talked to me almost 17, 18 years, and I would have told Amber, I got something that you can do and take and drop those fiber tumors on the ground in 8 weeks. I can't heal you. I can't treat you. But the good Lord gave us something for fiber tumors, Amber. There's something called the liver gallbladder flush. You would have saved that gallbladder. Another surgery. Because Amber, when you say that, Amber, I remember a case I had of someone that had hepatitis. Hepatitis. And the hepatitis, we had to do something called scar tissue release. A scar tissue release. And Amber's coming down here to Detroit, folks. We're going to be at Sankofa, Dr. Keefer's location at 6:30 today, and we're going to bring something powerful to this community. We're going to bring the first naturopathic specialist program through the state of Michigan, certified program, state of Michigan. Now, a lot of folks call themselves doctors of naturopathy, which they know nutrition, but I'll make you guys specialists. How to do scar tissue release, or how scar tissue wouldn't cause that issue. Naturopathic specialists. I want to teach folks how to save their gallbladders. You need your gallbladder. And chiropractic specialists. And I say this here, folks, and I'm going to tell a story that of someone that become well known because President Obama, back in 2001, my best friend called me. He said, Pastor is having a gallbladder surgery. And my best friend been around me, and he knows that I do certain things to save gallbladder. He said, Dr. Vincent, call the pastor and tell the pastor how to save his gallbladder. I said, I have pastor rules. Pastor need to call me because pastor's busy. I'm busy. I got pastor rules. And the pastor didn't call me. And I said, but tell the pastor if he gets his gallbladder gone, he's going to have knee pain and he's going to have hearing loss. He may have problems with his hearing loss, and that can happen. And by the way, the pastor ended up retiring as a pastor because he had lost his hearing. And one of the reasons why I was told he lost his hearing, and that pastor, folks, pastor is a pastor, Obama's old pastor, Dr. Jeremiah Wright. And so, and as far as, I think that he retired because of what happened with that, but he was retiring anyway. But people, every organ means something. The gallbladder, folks, if Amber has a gallbladder taken out, Amber's going to have problems with spraining her ankle, breaking her ankle balance. The gallbladder controls your ankle. The gallbladder controls decision. You have a gallbladder gone, you're going to have a problem with pain in your shoulder. So I want to teach folks how to become a naturopathic specialist that specialize in conditions. You won't treat diseases. I can't heal or treat anybody. But I want to go over some products with folks, and I want to thank Amber for calling in, Amber. And Amber, hopefully going to see you at 6:30 at Sankofa. It's on the corner of, it's on 7 Mile and Woodward. It's right next to the water station. It's a yellow building called Sankofa. If you have pain, come and see how you can get rid of pain, folks, in 1 minute. Yes, 1 minute. I can show you 1 minute. I don't care if you fell off a roof. 1 minute. Everything is thought, folks. Disease is 87% thought and 13% nutrition. So my job, I'm tasked with the knowledge, and the Lord said, go teach it. How to teach folks how to activate the doctor within, to activate me within. He said, I'm in everything, I'm in everybody, and I am the master healer. So I want to thank you, Amber, folks, and definitely, folks. And I want to go over some products right quick. And hopefully, we're going to get Dr. Clark to call in very shortly. I think he's listening to me on the internet from Trinidad. He has an accent, folks, and he's a powerful doctor, and he got some powerful stories. And once he calls in, we're going to get him on. But, folks, I was sick. I saw a dermatologist for 6 months. My back was black. I had bleeding ulcers on my body, 17. I had lesions on my head, on my face, swollen lymphatics. I was sick. The water was killing me, folks. And this one product here, folks, called Pure Aquamins, it's a mineral that Amber talked about. And Fred Foster, you're going to see him tonight if you come, maybe that night if you come to Sankofa's. Fred Foster, I met him on a business call. Folks that know me, you may know my voice from Noni. Noni got started here in Detroit with Robert Dean, Mr. Panda, and the Whiteheads. I was part of that group when it first got started. Ended up being one of the largest teams in the country. I was part of the start. Maybe you know Dr. Keeper with Zango Juice. I did that too. I was over Zango Juice. We had the largest African-American downline in that company. I was part of that. But now, folks, I'm fin to bring something new to the table. And I want to bring something because why? I put in Flint Lives Matter into a company. I put in Detroit Schools Matter into a company. We need revenue in order to rebuild Flint and to rebuild the lives of these kids in Detroit. My goal is not to give these kids a second chance. These kids need a first chance. If you take the average 3-year-old African-American male, the study shows that if you don't get them educated by the 3rd grade, they will be in the prison care system. We got to fix it now, folks, and we need money, and we're sick. I want to teach in my program something called the Metabolic Disorder Program. That's a disorder. There's a code that was invented because of the kids of Detroit back in the early 2000s. 11-year-olds with type 2 diabetes should never happen. Like 11-year-old with Alzheimer's, never happen. Diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, 11 years old should never happen. There's a new code for that. And we're going to teach folks how to get rid of that. I think I got my doctor on the phone. Hi, this is Dr. Vincent.
Hey, Dr. Vincent, this is Dr. Clark here.
Hi, Dr. Clark. Hi, Dr. Clark. Did we lose Dr. Clark?
Hello?
Hi, Dr. Clark. Okay, great. Hey, Dr. Clark.
Yes, sir.
I'm here in Detroit, sharing with Detroit what we're about to do. I shared with them that we finna do something that we did in Noni and Zango. We build big businesses. We're retired from our practices in 1 year. Made a lot of money. But this time we got to make money to save the schools in Detroit. To build new houses in Flint. We need to own some stuff in Flint. We own nothing. Not a gas station. Not a beauty supply store. We own nothing but salons. And some barbershops. And a couple restaurants. For a city that's 85% African American, we own nothing. I want to restore some pride back into my city. No matter where I go, when I fly, they see my Flint, Michigan. Oh, you from there? Are you from there? You from the place of the Z's? You from there? And Dr. Clark, we got some products, Dr. Clark, that I know. We're going to give folks a website that they can go order these products. We're going to start with your product, Dr. Clark, because we have Flint Lives Matter with your product, and Mr. Foster with the minerals. We got Detroit Schools Matter. So now, this product, folks, is called Laminine. It's called Laminine. And I want to show the folks on the camera the structure of Laminine, if they can see it. It's the structure, folks, of a cross. Of a cross. Of a cross. Look at that, folks. You don't see anything in organic chemistry like a cross. My worst course, folks, was organic chemistry, folks. All my grades was summa cum laude, and my grade in organic chemistry, folks, Dr. Clark, was hallelujah laude. I barely passed it. So, Dr. Clark, this Laminine, we only got 3 or 4 minutes. This Laminine, what have you seen with this Laminine, this omega down there? Keep in mind, folks, that we're not trying to heal, treat, or diagnose you, but some of the things you've seen down there in Trinidad, down there, what have you seen? Dr. Clark, you there?
Taking place in Trinidad here. We have been seeing things from cancers, turnaround. We have been dealing with things like diabetes. We have seen that turnaround. We have seen hypertension turnaround. We have seen Parkinson's turnaround. We have seen quite a bit, and well, it is not the first time that we have seen people have really great results in as far as healing is concerned, and it's not anything that we do. But what is different with what we have today is the speed at which we are seeing healing taking place. It's the speed at which we are seeing people really turn their life around. And not only the speed, we're looking at the variety of things that we are seeing impacted by some of the products that you have in front of you. And it's not that the product is in fact healing anybody or doing anything. They are supplying the raw material that the body needs to be able to heal itself. It is the body healing itself, but we are supplying the raw material that's necessary.
Now, Dr. Clark, the raw material that we're supplying, we only got like a couple more minutes. This product has stem cells in it. What makes stem cells? It has omega, it has CoQ10, has vitamin K. Can you expound on that quickly, please?
Well, that product is really a fantastic product. It contains something called fibroblast growth factor number 2. And fibroblast growth factor is that growth factor that basically activates stem cells. It activates and directs stem cells to actually speed up healing. You see, we all have lots of stem cells in our body, all of us, and we call them adult stem cells. What is happening, however, is that we find that the stem cells are usually inactive. By taking in fibroblast growth factor into your system, it is able to activate your stem cells. And once we understand what stem cells is, which we would probably have to go into at another time because of the time constraint, understanding what stem cells are, we are able to understand why the body is able to repair almost any tissue in any organ and have it come back to normal, because it was stem cells that became the various tissue cells in the first place. Apart from that, the product is loaded with omegas, and particularly omega-3 from the highest and the best quality source of omega-3s on the planet. It also carries vitamin K and also CoQ10. When we think about vitamin K in itself, some people, when they hear vitamin K, and we're talking about particularly vitamin K2, which is a specific vitamin K. So it is not just about clotting blood. It actually helps to remove calcium from the plaque in your arteries and redeposit the calcium where it is supposed to be. So in places like your bones, like your teeth, and so on. So this is a great thing for people who are having a cardiovascular disease. And they say the real marker as to your risk of cardiovascular disease is looking at the amount of uh, calcium deposit within your arteries. You know, that tells a lot. This product is able, because it carries vitamin K2 is able to get in there, help to remove that calcification in the artery and deposit that calcium where it is supposed to be. So we see people who are hypertensive. We are seeing people who have other cardiovascular risk factors really seeing their life turn around because of the combination in that product. And of course, CoQ10. We know that if you're taking statins, one of the problems with statins is that statins actually reduce your CoQ10 levels. And you know that CoQ10 is absolutely necessary for dealing with protecting your heart muscles and so forth. You know, it is like an antioxidant for the heart, you know, but if you are taking statin drugs, that is in fact reduced. And you can check that, you know, and you would see that it is in fact so. So we are able to put that back into your system, along with the omegas, bring back flexibility to the blood vessels, at the same time, remove the plaque as far as the calcium buildup that is deposited within the arteries, and we see a lot of improvement. We're
Hey,
talking
Dr. Clark,
about
I'm going to Dr.
circulation,
Clark.
people who are with having diabetic issues as far as neuropathy, and so they are getting a lot of benefits. But even people with things like Alzheimer's and dementia
Alzheimer's,
and so forth, because
amazing.
of blood flow and oxygenation, having better circulation going to the blood vessels in the brain, we are seeing people improving and improving at a tremendous rate, Dr. Vincent.
Hey, Dr. Clark, we got about 30 more seconds. And Alzheimer's, folks, it took less than 2 weeks. Amazing. Diabetes, folks, takes about a month. I mean, it's not us healing hypertension, kidney failure. I mean, the guy with glaucoma, blind, who now sees. And Dr. Clark, how do the people get this product?
Or they could go to Dr. Vincent mylifefarm.com, and that's mylifepharm.com.
So Dr.
So it's Dr. Vincent
dot
mylifefarm, that's PHARM, like in pharmacy.com, and they're able to pick up products there.
So my MYLIFE farm.com. And the product you want, folks, to get started is the Omega. The Omega, folks, and it has the stem cells. Now, also, folks, we have these minerals, folks, powerful. These minerals are almost out of time. You're going to get these minerals from a company called AmericanDream4Me.com. AmericanDream4Me.com/Detroit Schools Matter. We're going to use this product, folks, to give this money to the Detroit schools to build new school systems, folks. I know, Dr. Clark, we can find 10 million folks on the planet that we can help with pain, with diabetes, with hypertension, with asthma on the planet per month, where we can give a lot of money to these schools and help save Flint. Hallelujah, folks. Hopefully we're going to be on this program again at 12:30 on next Monday, folks, and come out to Sankofa tonight at 6:30. And if you got this DVD, it's going to be copied. This is the 27th of July. We only there on the 27th of July. If this is a recording and you hear this on a recording, we won't be there next week of July. You want to come out, folks, to Sankofa. It's Monday the 27th at 6:30. And you're going to hear more from Dr. Clark about how the lady with Alzheimer's didn't know anybody for 4 years, knew her family in 2 weeks. How the guy with glaucoma, totally blind, starts saying how the folks with asthma for years in COPD. Now, no more asthma, COPD. We didn't heal these folks. It's what they did. Hallelujah, folks. I want to thank folks for calling in and listening in and watching us on the TV.